Welcome back to another Minetest mod review. Today we are looking at the ham radio mod, which, as you can see in front of you here, adds a few ham radios. I assume that's what they're called. I was never really into ham radio, so I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I'd have to imagine that's what they're called. So right off the bat, let's look at the Kraft recipes because, that's always important. Now, these actually will change depending on what mods you have. If you have, let me see real quick. If you have basic materials, it will use different items, plastic sheets, copper wire, copper coil, and a battery basic. Simple energy crystal. And it looks like if you have Technic, it'll have some other recipes. I'm just pretty much running Minetest game and the ham radio mod. So I have the most basic of the recipes. So you have this radio circuit, which is pretty much needed for everything else. And then you have the beacon. There is a handheld receiver. There's a non-handheld receiver, just a receiver. And then there is the transmitter. So these can all be crafted, placed in world with the exception of the handheld. That one is a tool you hold in your hand, interestingly enough. Now, how do they work? Well, let's start with the radio transmitter. So first off here, we're going to need to put in a frequency, and as you can tell, our frequency can be 0 through whatever that number is. I don't know what that number is. I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because that's it's easy to remember. And then we'll give an RDS message of we'll do foobar, we'll do hello world, and we'll do you read me? I don't know if you actually say do you read me in ham radio. There's probably some sort of code you use for that. And you can now see in the hover text here, or the info text rather, it's telling us what the frequency is, and it's giving out the RDS message. I don't know what RDS stands for, but yeah, it's doing that. The transmitter we won't look at right now. Let's get the receiver. Right click on this and we can put our frequency in. And with the frequency in here, this should, voila, it gives us the RDS messages from the transmitter here, and it'll cycle through them, and once it goes through all the messages, it'll loop back to the first. So here we have giving the same information yet again. The transmitter, as you can tell here, you can't right click on to open an interface. You can't punch it to open an interface. It just transmits on frequency, and this frequency is random per placed unit. This one is broadcasting on frequency 8673224. So if we were to go to our handheld receiver and we punch with it, we can put a frequency in. I don't remember what that frequency was. 88 something. Wasn't it? No, 8673224. 8673224. I hope that was the right number. It was. Now look at this. This is kind of cool. Not gonna lie. I was supposed to avoid this part of the map, but oh well. So with the handheld here, ignore the map off to the left. That's this is an old world. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Good thing I'm admin. Yes, I'm doing this in multiplayer because that's kind of really the only way to notice how it works. I must have overridden sand or something in this world. Oh no, I can't lose that. So this works like a radio beacon. That's exactly what it does actually. So as we're going this way, the signal should be getting weaker and weaker. And then as we look towards the transmitter, signal gets stronger and stronger. So theoretically, if we were to do fly and no clip and go this direction, we should pretty much run right into, we may need to change altitude a little bit. Oh wait, we're getting weaker. We've passed it up. This way? Oh, we're getting weaker. Is it? Oh, it's right above us. Ta-da! So you can also use this if you know the frequency of somebody else's beacon. I believe. Yes. So there's a beacon. It's actually right next to J up here. And also notice the chat message. We now are getting a do you read? And that we are getting through the handheld. So actually, if we look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we change our frequency to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we will get the radio from the admin with the messages from that. Now, I haven't actually tried this. What if I change this message to 1, 2, 3, 4, or the frequency to 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I pull my handheld back up and change the frequency it's listening on. You're basically dialing into your stations. What are we gonna get? Now I think this like changes every 10 seconds. You'll get a chat message when you're holding the handheld. Actually, we can look at this too. Find me if you can. So that's the radio from J. And now the radio from admin is broadcasting the foobar message. And I haven't been paying attention to the receiver here. Message from admin, do you read me? These things scroll through too slow. But on the flip side, I suppose if they went faster, you might not be able to read the message. So, you know, it's kind of important that it lasts long enough where you can read it. Yes, admin, we read you. We read you loud and clear. Are you going to change at any point? Because that would be kind of cool. Okay, maybe it's... Oh, you know what? Because I never changed its frequency. Hey, it's reading a message from Jay. Perfect. Oh, we're going to find you, Jay. We are so going to find you. It's very easy. And then we get the message from admin. Now, the handheld you cannot broadcast from. You can only hear messages. This does nothing to normal chat. So you can still chat to people and be like, yo, Jay, I know where you is. And it still sends through like a perfectly normal chat message. So it doesn't affect chat at all. However, it gives, I don't necessarily want to say a secret frequency. But like say you want to have a, I don't honestly really know what a real world use case is. There is a fun game that you can play, and I don't know exactly what you would call it, but you throw out a transmitter right here, throw one of these in the world, and then you give everybody handhelds. This is something you would do in multiplayer, of course, and you give them the frequency of this, and just preferably throw them all in random spots, I guess, because if you start them all in the same spot, they're kind of going to go as a group. Though I suppose if it was like behind a cliff or something, they'd all have to go their own way to try to get up to the top of it. But they just pretty much try to find the transmitter. There's a similar thing that police do. Actually, I don't know if it's necessarily police or just law enforcement. I don't know which branch of law enforcement does it. For people that are illegally broadcasting signals, there is a method of triangulation, which my understanding is you get 3 or 4. Well, if it's triangulation, I guess you would need minimum 3, right? Because you can't triangulate with less than 3 points, I would think. Oh, hey, look, we found it. I didn't even use my signal. Jay, you going down? Actually, I probably shouldn't do that. But yeah, with a couple different points, you can find out where the signal is coming from, and then they come out and they throw you in jail because you're illegally broadcasting, because the FCC, not to get political or anything, pretty much says if you don't have a license, you can't broadcast stuff on public airwaves unless it's on a very small spectrum of channels and something. But again, I really don't know anything about the hobby or the the ham radio scene, so don't quote me on anything. But here we have Jay's receiver. We're receiving our own messages. That's cool. I don't know if I can open. No, okay, sure. I'll just leave. I was gonna write "can I type" here, but clearly I don't know how to spell anymore. And it saved it. So other people can write stuff onto your transmitters. And then of course Jay here's got his own receiver, so he can get the messages as well. You can't really have a conversation with this because, I'm broadcasting these 3 messages. I mean, Jay's broadcasting these 3 messages. I'm broadcasting other messages. You can't really respond to people's messages via this way. But I suppose if you had like a clan or a group of people and they all had receivers, so the same channel, same frequency, if you had like a base, you could put out messages like to coordinate things, but you can't really have a conversation through it. You still have to just use private messages or chats to do that. There's no implementation for really having a conversation over the radio system like this. But with a bit of creativity, I suppose you could figure out something that would work. But that's gonna wrap it up, folks. I'm gonna get Jay out of the picture here. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, bud. And we'll just end it like this. So that was the ham radio mod for Minetest. Links all in the video description, as always. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week for another video, and I will see you then.